The moment this man stepped off the plane, his life completely changed. While he was in the air, his country had collapsed overnight. His visa instantly became worthless. His national currency was invalid, and all flights back home were canceled. But he didn't know any of this. He didn't speak a word of English. To explain the situation, the airport director used a bag of chips to show him.
No more Krakosia.
This is how Victor became trapped in the airport. He couldn't enter the United States, but he couldn't return to his home country either. He was stuck in limbo, stateless, unwanted, and with nowhere to go. At first, he tried to survive with what he had. He collected abandoned chairs and pieced them together into a makeshift bed. That was how he survived his first night inside the terminal. But the next morning, the airport director already had his eye on him. Acting friendly, he approached Victor and told him about the security guard's shift change, hinting that it was his chance to walk outside and be free. Excited, Victor thought his nightmare was about to end. He rushed toward the exit, only to realize too late that it was a trap. The director had no intention of helping him. He wanted Victor out because his superiors were watching. If Victor left the airport, the police would arrest him immediately. As Victor neared the doors, he noticed the security camera seemed to follow his every move. Pretending to tie his shoelaces, he confirmed it. The camera was locked on him. When the director noticed, he panicked and turned the camera away. That gave Victor his chance. He stepped directly under the blind spot of the camera and vanished from the screen. By the time the director looked again, Victor was gone. Furious, the man had no choice but to watch as Victor calmly reappeared, declaring that he would stay inside the terminal no matter what. The director tried again, offering Victor lunch and promising a way out. All Victor had to do was answer a question. Are you afraid of your country? If he said yes, he could apply for political asylum. Without hesitation, Victor said no. The director explained that Victor's country no longer existed, trying to scare him into changing his answer. But Victor stood firm. That is my home, he said. I will never be afraid of it. The director had him thrown out of the office. With no income and no support, Victor struggled to eat. At first, he survived on leftover snacks. Then he noticed that when travelers returned luggage carts, they received a 25-cent coin. Most people abandoned the carts without bothering. So, Victor collected them. That day, he returned 3 carts and earned 75 cents. With the money, he bought a hamburger, the first real meal he had eaten in days. From then on, he worked tirelessly, collecting carts every day. Soon, he was able to afford full meals. But he also knew that if he wanted to survive long-term, he needed more than food. He needed language. Using his spare coins, he bought a pocket dictionary and second-hand books. He began to teach himself English. Just as life started improving, the director struck again. A new official position was created, cart collector. Victor's small source of income was gone. Once again, he was back to eating scraps. Then, unexpectedly, help came from another source. A young food worker in the terminal noticed Victor and brought him meals. But he didn't do it for free. The man was secretly in love with one of the front desk attendants. He asked Victor to talk to her, to find out her likes, her interests, her favorite things. In exchange, Victor would never go hungry again. It was an unusual deal, but Victor agreed. Every day, he chatted with the front desk woman, slipping in questions about her favorite food, her hobbies, her dreams. Then he passed the answers to the food worker. As the days passed, Victor not only earned his meals, he also improved his English rapidly. But secrets never stay hidden for long. One day, the woman realized what was happening. She confronted Victor, asking who had put him up to this.
Man of misery.
Thinking quickly, Victor replied with such honesty that she let the matter go. Not long after, the food worker's feelings spilled over. With Victor's help, he prepared a box for the woman. Inside was a diamond ring. She hesitated, embarrassed to accept such a gesture while on the job. But Victor stepped in, delivering the man's heartfelt words in his place. The romance blossomed. Before long, they were married. Their wedding took place right inside the airport, surrounded by friends and colleagues. Watching them, Victor felt genuine happiness, but he didn't realize his own story was about to change. One day, a flight attendant named Amelia slipped and fell in the terminal. Victor rushed to help her. Her heel had snapped and she could only walk on her toes. Victor, always resourceful, handed her a coupon for shoe repair. Amelia smiled at him, grateful. For a moment, Victor thought this might be love, but then he saw her turn and embrace her boyfriend. His heart sank. Days later, fate intervened. Victor saw Amelia again, this time crying after breaking up with her boyfriend. Pretending to talk on a payphone, he stayed close, watching. When she finally broke down in tears, he walked over and offered her a handkerchief. She saw through his disguise instantly, but his sincerity touched her. Encouraged, he spoke to her honestly. They talked, and Amelia invited him to dinner. But Victor, broke and ashamed, had no money. He turned her down. Crushed, Amelia left in tears. Victor, too, was devastated. For the first time, he realized he needed to change his life. He decided he would find work, earn money, and be ready for the next chance. And just when he made that decision, luck finally came knocking. What happens next is a story you won't want to miss. Stay tuned. The rest of Victor's journey is just beginning.